Hello, hello. Welcome to the live chat. Welcome to the live chat. Welcome, Anna Espinoza, Ethan's husband number one, Church Nelly, Emma D, Denise Jones, Miss Kathy, Eunice Fryer, of here. Okay. Lydia Washington, welcome. Fancy, Church Nelly, um, Lucy Wynn, did I say that already? Yeah, I did. Anyway, welcome you all. And y'all listen, don't start. I love that. Don't start. Don't start. Okay. And anyway, let me get my slide going here. Oh, you know what? I can't believe it. I got the slide ready. I am more efficient than I give myself credit for today. Um, first of all, you all who are suffering through that storm in the UK, I have to say, I hope everyone is safe. I think they call it Storm Eunice. Um, they said that the winds have been horrendous. So yeah, that's got to be tough. So being from the Midwest myself, I do have a concept of the amount of damage that the winds could do. As you know, growing up, just like most people growing up in the Midwest, we had the tornado warnings, and we had to do the tornado drills and go into the hallway of the building and huddle for safety. Um, if I had to do that right now, it would take an act of Congress to get me up off that floor. So I would it would, as they say, it would behoove me to have to get down on the floor somewhere and huddle for safety, because I tell you, it would be quite a sight to see me try to pick myself up off the floor. So oh, you like that, Anna? I'm telling you, Moses couldn't get me off the floor if I was in that situation today. And cross my legs. I tried the last time I tried to cross my leg, sitting in the living room of someone's home. I literally kicked over the coffee table. So um, happy Friday, everybody! Happy Friday. Um, but yeah, so I look at people, ball themselves up in a little knot and stuff like that, and doing Pilates and yoga and all that. But just looking at it causes some of my joints to pop. So I probably will not partake in those rituals, but I can watch. Plus, back in the 90s, I was banned from wearing anything that involved spandex. So um, you'll never see me in spandex again. Yes, I know the world has taken a collective sigh of relief, but I promise you, you'll never see me in spandex again. Not since the 1990s. I have been banned from wearing spandex. So you all are quite safe. Let's see. Hello, Joan Commonwealther and Bertha Stevens. Welcome. Yeah, welcome. Okay, well, let's get to it. Um, I tell you what, I got just one little thing that I wanted to point out. I want to. This is so messy. Maybe I shouldn't do it. No, we're going to get into some serious stuff. Don't worry. But um, what can I say? This is so messy. I cannot afford to pass on this one. So, in light of the storm Eunice, which is causing millions of pounds of damage as we speak, no one is immune from the ferocity of this storm. No one. Do you hear me? No one has gone. Um, okay, Anna. Okay. As you know, the destructive nature of this storm has caused the one of the most famous domes in London has been shredded. Um, when I first read the account, I thought they were talking about this dome. I said, "Oh my goodness, what happened to that dome? Did the wind just literally rip at it?" So I didn't realize they were talking about this dome. You can understand my confusion. When I saw that there was a dome with little spikes sticking out of it, I thought they were talking about something else or someone else. It didn't take long before I realized there was a misunderstanding. It wasn't this dome. No, no, no. It was this dome. See? So, okay, I got it wrong. What could I say? Happy Friday, everyone. You're welcome. So, to me, when I see a massive dome, I easily start to reference something else. I mean, it's an easy mistake to make. You have a vast square footage or square meters of, empty space, right? See what I mean? And then, of course, with the force of nature, this storm Eunice, it's a disaster when it happens. So it's not so, you know, it's easy to see why I made that mistake. So, anyway, that being said, no one was injured with the destruction of that dome, as far as I know. Okay, so yes, happy Friday, everyone. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. So let's get to the more serious stuff. Apparently, Prince Harry has had his day in court, or is having a day in court. I'm not sure which one it is, but um, this is the actual cover of a magazine from 2017. Okay. And of course, sometimes we question the loyalty of Omid Scobie. But lately, Omid Scobie, and maybe I shouldn't say lately because in the past, of course, he has called out people where the Sussexes are concerned. So he's no stranger to controversy. So here you can see, oh, hold on, let me enlarge that so I can read the print myself. Okay, it says, I'll share what Kensington Palace officials told me at the time. Through Newsweek, Levin was given access to official engagements and chat with Harry for a 2017 cover. Then, without permission, she turned that material into a book. Harry was crushed and his team was furious. And if you notice, beneath the caption there, it says, exclusive, How Prince Harry Made His Peace with the World by Angela Levin. So it was this cover, and I must admit, I was a little sketchy about the history of it. I had no clue that it was just, I know that she only spent a short period of time with him, like one interview. And somehow she managed to take that single interview and turn it into years of financial gain. Now, there's nothing wrong with a reporter having access. There's nothing wrong with someone writing a book. But there was a bit of a implied deception because that one interview, that one sit down chat with Harry turns into uh you know it turns her into a royal expert, and her expertise is Prince Harry. And the only reason why Harry spoke to her is because that little intrusive garden gnome was, I won't say she was being a stalker, but she was here, there, and everywhere, praying, hoping, and waiting for the opportunity to have a chat with him, which I believe only lasts some 20 minutes. So, in 20 minutes, you have learned enough about Harry to become the official expert. Now, I do believe that finally, and I may be wrong about this because I haven't watched a lot of morning television or anything like that, but I think finally the American television networks have, I guess for lack of a better word, has woken up to smell the coffee to realize that this is a complete grift. There is no relationship and has never been a relationship between someone who has been called a complete liar and Prince Harry. She implies that there was something much further and deeper between the two of them. And so I can't recall the show, but when she was queried about that on a talk show, she said, "Well, you don't really have to spend a lot of time with someone to you can as a reporter, we can pick up body language and cues, and there's other things that we can use so that we can learn about that person and watch it." I mean, a complete grift. She literally said that um, she had some keen observations, and she a grift, a grift, and yet she implied that spending like 20 minutes having a polite chat and then hanging around and lurking around like some type of stalker gives you all the knowledge needed, everything that you need, all the necessary input has come from this one article. Omid Scobie pointed it out. Without permission, she turned material into a book. Harry was crushed and his team was furious. It's just that simple. And excuse me, in 2017, I must admit I wasn't paying attention to any of this stuff, so I had no knowledge of it. But Omid Scobie decided once again to set the record straight and call it out. This is the Omid Scobie that people are very suspicious of. Excuse me. 1 second, please. Whew, let me drink some water. I couldn't get my car started. Okay. So, Prince Harry was forced to become 100% self sufficient and stripping back from the royal role. But Andrew, though a short list of honors worse off, will continue to luxuriate in nearly all of the trappings of royal life. Did y'all get that? Now that's coming from Omid Scobie. He himself is of mixed race and has, at his own admission, have been somewhat bullied by some of the people within the confines. I'm not sure which, people, but I guess maybe other royal reporters or courtiers have, said some things to him, to his face, um, that was hurtful. So, yeah, let me look at a couple of your comments. By the way, you guys, I'm dog sitting this week, and I kind of think that my allergies are being sat upon, so you have to excuse me. She's the sweetest little thing, but I think my allergies have been sat upon. So, but I love keeping her. She's a sweetheart. So I'll show you a picture of her later. She is absolutely adorable. Okay. So comments. Hello, Squatties and Baron. Glad I could join you. Maggie Howell, we are glad you are here. That's why the royal family and firm And British people are so worried about what Prince Harry will say in his memoirs. Absolutely, Marcy. And they should be worried. But I don't suspect it's going to be a massive hit job. Prince Harry is way too classy to go to the darkness, but he will, and this is a warning to the royal family, he will tell his truth. Oh my goodness, I just saw a news bulletin. Some 200,000 people are without power, and that's in the UK. And at least one victim, and I'm sad to report this, has lost more hair. Woo! I'm gonna have fun with this all day. as as my little visitors dander sets off my allergies. Okay, Quinny, birthday is on the 20th of February. I turned 64. I feel like 34. Congratulations, Quinn. Happy birthday and many happy returns of the day. Okay, okay. I don't trust Scobie. I'm skeptical, but let me see. Because of his stupid finding freedom and his silence about that, Meghan's mouthpiece. Ugh. Yeah, well, I can't say that. I just had two videos that was not monetized because I talked about Andrew, and I'm not sure exactly how I could avoid that, but that's two videos that I uploaded that will not be monetized, so I have to be very careful what I say. For some reason, anything that you say about Andrew is just red hot, and they don't want to touch it on YouTube. So, let's see. But yeah, I can understand the skepticism about Omid Scobie. I get it. I can't wait for that book. If they were scared of what Harry was going to say before, they should be downright petrified of him now. Hold on, my allergy. Okay. Alrighty. Hello, Connie Balmer. As long as Shutter Island residents are okay, who cares about the taxpayers? Okay, I got that one. Hello, Black Queen. That old hag. I like how this is starting off. That old hag have to lie and cheat to get attention. You can clearly ascertain that she's been an utter failure for her entire miserable existence. Um, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Is she an old hag? Let me confirm that. I'm going to confirm it. Yes, she is. Yeah, she is a bit worse for wear. Um, time has marched all over that face. I mean, just marched on and on. So, yeah, you're right. I cannot dispute that one. Okay. All right. I'm going to, okay. Lil Rock, who has some of the best writing skills I've ever seen on the Royal Sussex. Most of us have a clear memory of all these shenanigans, grifts. In other words, latrine motives and sabotage. Harry, courtesy of his contemptuous brother, gleeful of her deception. Yep, that brother of his, it seems like he's been in bed with the worst sorts of people, allegedly. For instance, as I have, I guess, created this meme to remind us that the calls were coming from inside Kensington Palace. When I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, that reminds me of the movie When a Stranger Calls. Not only that, but because of this interview right here, or this comment from Dan Wooten Tootin, or that Wooten Tootin Dan Wooten. Dan Wooten launches a tirade against the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. It's so much easier. Okay, let me do his voice. It's so much easier for them to blame anything uncomfortable. I can't say that word, of course, rather than address the fact that the negativity toward them is coming from inside. I'm sorry, from within the. I'm so used to saying it the other way. From within the royal family. The negativity toward them is coming from within the royal family. Or, in other words, the calls are coming from inside the house. He is just creepy, creepy. He's a creepy individual. I mean, I get like the worst chill that comes over me whenever I hear him talk because he is just absolutely creepy, disgusting, creepy, creepy individual. The calls are coming from inside the house. I could just imagine him plotting and scheming and oh, and he's from New Zealand, right? He's not even from the UK. He's from New Zealand. He's a commonwealther, an upstart, a usurper, someone who's trying to fit in wherever he can get in. He's not even from the UK, but he just happens to be an old college chum of Jason Knopf. Jason Knopf. This is a Jason Knopf connection. The calls are coming from inside the house. So let me continue. Meghan's mouthpiece, Omid Scobie, put the boot in over Prince Andrew. Journalist compares how Duke of York kept his titles until the Queen hand was finally forced, with how Prince Harry was stripped of privilege after. I never used that M word. I hate it. But yeah, so because Omid Scobie said this, then this attack came from Lord Nappyhead's newspaper. They literally went after him right after he said those things. So, like him or not, I can't really speak of anybody's mistrust toward him for things like finding freedom. I didn't bother with the book, by the way, so I don't know what was in it, but I guess that does explain why some people are not you know fans of Omid Scobie. But all I can say is sometimes he gets it right. And as I have gotten older, there's quite a few people um, that I've seen associated with the Sussexes that I have not liked in the past, and I'm not going to name those people. Well, I won't say it's quite a few, but there's two in particular that have rubbed me the wrong way. But because they have been helpful to the Sussexes, I have shifted my allegiance, shall we say. I have decided to stand down my criticism of those people because I we just have to do that as we mature. We have to understand that we're not going to like all of the people all of the time, but sometimes people that we don't have the greatest respect for can actually be useful. So we all have to be mature enough to just overlook mistakes made in the past. I'm not trying to, or should I say, I won't insist that you all of a sudden become a fan of Omen Scobie, but when he gets it right, he gets it right. And sometimes he suffers slings and errors because of his rather implied bias, not bias, but unbiased reporting compared to some reporters who, through and through, will sing for their supper and tell you whatever you want to hear. Some of them are just very that way. Whatever it is you want to hear, they're not going to give it to you straight. They're going to tell you what you want and then wait for the paycheck. So He's never impressed me as that person. Let me see your comments, please. I'm going to scroll all the way to the most recent one. Well, almost most recent one. Let me see. It would be much easier to just joining the anti-Sussex brigade, that he stays true to himself and earns my respect. Well, yeah, Pamela, I think that's very valid. Instead of like, you know, officially picking a side, he's playing it, as unbiased as possible, trying to be fair and balanced. And for that, he has been punished. But if all the reporters spoke in the same voice as Omid Scobie, or with the same spirit that Omid Scobie has used, we wouldn't be as frustrated as we are. We wouldn't, there probably wouldn't be a Sussex squad if the reporters were just being fair. But you can't count on them to be fair. And so, for that reason, that's why there's a Sussex squad, because they all seem to, well, not all, but, there's a great deal of them that seem to behave like little rodents, just inside their little holes. And yeah, yeah. So if it wasn't for that type of very rat-like behavior, then we wouldn't need a sus squad. I mean, we could just have a fandom without having to defend day after day all of the lies and negativity. So yeah. So let me see. I understand this. Well, the other story here. Unfortunately, I cut it off when I made the slide, but I don't understand this constant need to use. Oh gosh, what was that about the Duchess of Cambridge? Oh, okay, to use opportunity, I guess, about something about her birthday. And anyway, so you've seen this before. He asked the question, why did they have to use her birthday to attack the Duchess of Sussex, or to do this big comparison to the Duchess of Sussex? And Petronella Wyatt was the reporter who wrote this story, saying that, oh, I'm sure Meghan is really upset about the popularity, or hates the popularity of the Duchess of Cambridge right now. This was their way of celebrating the Duchess of Cambridge's birthday, was to go after the Duchess of Sussex. It wasn't enough that it was her birthday to inspire any type of celebration. The only way they could celebrate was to attack Meghan. And so he called them out on that, um, for that reason. So I'm just pointing out, this is one of the things that Omid has done when people decide that he's the enemy. You have to bear in mind, at least he is calling out people. Okay, let me see. Maya Angelou. The main thing is to be in love with the search for the truth by everyone. Break over. Okay. And let me see. Oh my goodness, my allergies. I love this little ball of fur, but my eyes are itching, my nose is irritated, and my throat. You know what? I got a air purifier. I just have to keep it close next time I'm doing my live chat. Omid Scobie is straddling on the fence of prejudice. Emily Andrews, the gossip queen, has a spat with. She currently out of a job, parading news platforms to sell herself at wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay, I respect that. I respect that. Okay, so next. This next slide, of course, is courtesy of Twitter. Courtesy of Twitter. 6 police see Kate get to work on time. Now that's amazing to me, because I didn't realize Kate ever had a job, but She had maybe that was the job, was to hang out with the 6 police officers. I don't know. New member. Wow. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. NRB. Got a new member, everybody. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let me go back. Okay. And so let me see. She isn't royalty yet. So this, of course, was prior to her marrying into the family. She isn't royalty yet. But if the hefty police escort guarding her yesterday is anything to go by, Kate Middleton may soon be joining the Windsor family. Okay. Y'all see that? She has 6 police officers protecting her, and she wasn't even married into the family yet. And then, of course, this other story, Charles pays for extra Camilla security guards, right? Which is astounding because I kind of thought Camilla was her own best source of security, but I'm not going to go into that again because I don't want to be shady right now. But I thought Camilla was her own security. But apparently they felt it was necessary to bring in even more protection for her. I mean, does this look like anyone who's insecure? That is her own best security, is her presence. Yes. That is all the implied security that one needs, is just that she shows up. Even the late Princess Diana realized that Camilla was her own best security. See there? Diana knew that she had some characteristics that made her very safe with or without royal protection. So, that being said, it's kind of redundant that she was given extra security. She is her own security. Nobody messes with her. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm struggling through my allergies. Let me try to drink some water here. But yeah, so she is her own best security. No need for highly trained ex special forces. No, no. This is all you need to feel secure. I feel safe, and I'm all the way here in the US. Thank you for the super sticker, Jennifer Ward, and happy Friday to you. Yeah, so some people are their own best security. No need for all of those, you know, it's just not necessary. Yes. By the way, she's the one on the left in the left photo and the one on the right in the right photo. That's collectively images of her. Okay, so let's see what was next. So Prince Andrew could get 7 million compensation from taxpayers if he's forced out of his grace and favor. 30 Oh, now you know what? You can tell when the press is tired of you. You can tell when they sick of you. You can tell when they're through with you, when they start talking about how much your house costs. Prince Andrew could get 7 million pounds compensation from taxpayers if he's forced out of grace and favor. 30 million pound. Oh, they counting the bedrooms. They counting the bedrooms. 31 bedroom, 31 bedroom Royal Lodge home in Windsor. So, okay, this is the first time that I have realized that he's through, because not only have they given the price of the house, I thought that was just for the Sussexes. They have also quoted how many bedrooms he has. So that means that he is in for a lifetime of slander and torment and lies and implied slickness or whatever. So, yeah, that you can count on. You see there? They have mentioned not only how many bedrooms, yes, but the fact that the place costs 30 million pounds. So that way you know he is done in. Happy birthday, Anastasia. Happy birthday and many happy returns of the day. Happy Friday and happy birthday. Yes. Anastasia Isabella is one of our moderators, in case you didn't know. So she is definitely very important to Royal Sussex. And then on the right side, you can see, okay, so Tisano. Okay, so he did sell one of the houses there. I see that. And the chalet bought for 13 million pounds in top Swiss ski resort. Okay, so that's the chalet in the middle, and at the bottom, that's the Royal Lodge. Well, apparently, Prince Andrew has done some upgrades to the Royal Lodge at the tune of about 7 million pounds. So when they say that he's going to receive compensation, that's where the compensation will come from, is the fact that just like the Sussexes, he upgraded an already existing grace and favor property. However, the big difference is Harry, who is now independently wealthy away from that family and thriving, Harry actually left the house that was on permanent loan to him or was given to him as a gift. We are speaking of that Frogmore house, cottage rather. And Harry also paid what was it, $3 million back to the Crown Estate or back to the sovereign grant, whichever you want to call it. He paid money that he should not have paid for the upgrades to that house. The house, well, I'm not even going to go into that again, but the Royal Cottage, the Sussex, the Frogmore Cottage was a wedding gift to the Sussexes, but not really a gift. It was on permanent loan to them from the Crown Estates, which really does not, but it's a whole bunch of does and doesn't that doesn't really belong to the Queen, that is part of the Greater Crown Estate, that was already scheduled for refurbishment, but it was implied that the Sussexes were given the house and that the taxpayers were fixing it up for them, not that it wasn't going to fall apart before they even got there. And so a house that was already scheduled to be refurbished, remodeled, reconstructed, and turned into a single family home, which before was a collection of apartments, that was a home that was, anyway, it's all too confusing. But the point is, Harry had had enough of it. He dropped a check for about $3 million, and his cousin Eugenie and Eugenie's husband, the bartender, and the baby, August, they all live there now. And Harry goes there to visit on occasion. Yeah, so yeah, Eugenie married a bartender. Eugenie married a bartender. I don't know if you guys know that, but she's married to a bartender. Thank you, NRB, for the generous, and I do mean very generous, super sticker. I really appreciate that. Happy Friday. And again, thank you for becoming a member of Royal Sussex. But yeah, I'm just kidding. Jack Brooksbank is not a bartender. He promotes alcohol. Right, Church Nelly? You probably run into him before at the juke joint. Don't be shy. But yeah, he promotes alcohol. No. Let me stop. I'm in a good mood, even though this little ball of fur here with me is attacking my allergies. But I just love her. She's absolutely adorable. I'm going to show you a photo of her. I promise I will. Okay. Excuse me. But I tell you, she's really getting me right now. Um, I tell you what, guys, let me do something really fast that's going to help my allergies. I'll be right back. No, seriously, I'll be right back. Okay, I just turned on the AC. In the middle of winter, I just turned on the AC. That should help. Oh my goodness, she's getting me bad today too. And you know what? Usually she does no harm, but right now, I think because we're closed up in the house that okay, let me see. No, Akua, I promise you. Let me show you a picture of this little baby. She is absolutely adorable. She is only staying for a couple days, which is a relief to my allergies. But this is like I guess I don't think I've ever kept her in the wintertime, but occasionally when her family travels, I um I will dog sit with her. And I've never had her here for the winter, so this is the first time I've experienced that winter coat, the extra dander and everything. So yeah, it is it's a first. But anyway, I just adore her and I will take my chances anytime with her. Um Unfortunately, I can't find a photo. Okay, wait. I got you. Oh my goodness, she is absolutely adorable. Let me get this for you. Let me get this for you. She is absolutely adorable. This is like cuteness overload. I have to say this. This is like cuteness overload. Look at that. Look at that. Huh? Huh? Look at her. She is absolutely adorable. Well, I'm not going to say her name. I, I'm going to protect her privacy. But yeah, this is the first time her winter coat is causing me the blues. Uh oh. Uh oh. Let me get that off of there. I'm skipping ahead. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. But yeah, this is the first time her winter coat is giving me the blues. Just as just as adorable. But she's only here for a couple of days, so um life will get back to normal. I'm going to get out the vacuum and go over the place really good. And yeah, so anyway, sorry about that, you guys. Just wanted to share that with you, though, so you guys can see why my allergies are suffering right now. And now back to the. Okay, let me see a little comments here. Yes, she's adorable. I just love her. I become like a totally different person around her. Uh huh. And then what's cool is people in the neighborhood who otherwise would shy away from me, like, something weird about that one. Once you have a little puppy with you, all of a sudden, everybody is, it's like when you have the same car as someone, they wave to you. It's the same thing. Once you join that canine club, then all of a sudden, everybody is your friend. Just like Prince Charles. When Prince Charles everybody became his friend. So, you know what I'm saying? It's the same principle. When Prince Charles finally connected with his emotional support, Camilla, then suddenly people who wouldn't talk to him suddenly became his friend. It's the same principle. So when the little dog and I go out together, people who otherwise paid no attention to me suddenly have become closer. So that's the only way I can explain it is that once you have your canine by your side, then the world opens up a whole new like list of possibilities for you. See how much happier Charles is now? He, he- he's got his best friend at his side, man's best friend. So that's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Because, okay, that's enough of that. We were having a discussion about this, and rather than to go to the dark side, I'm going to abstain from any further comments about that. Pamela, just so you know, I get all of my antihistamines, all of my rheumatism medicine, just anything that I need, I get a little potion from Church Nelly. Now, the only thing is, hopefully, when Church Nelly sends it to me, it won't go off in transit because she has some powerful medication over there. So that's what I use for everything. So I don't need conventional medications. I got Church Nelly. Um, she has an elixir that cures just about everything, or it can also fuel aircraft. So that's what I use. Okay, so Andrew's lifestyle. Prince Andrew lives a billionaire's lifestyle on £270,000 a year. So, where does all his money come from? I would like to dispute that figure because Prince Andrew's lifestyle exceeds 2.7 million pounds. I'm sorry, 270 million pounds a year. His lifestyle exceeds that, and we all know it. So that figure that they have thrown out there, that is just something that they pulled out of out of the hat. It is not the actual account of how he lives. So they could forget that one. I don't believe that number. Okay. So I don't know who made this. This is one of those things that I kind of snatched off the interweb. But as you can see, all the elements of the topic for the day is there. All of it. I'll let you just read it yourself. But everything is very topical there. So this is like just one of those things. I don't know if this was like one of those like British Republican things. I don't know where I got it from. I just had it for a while because I just never know when I'll need something to make a point. So I just saved it. And then here you can see that he's not the only one in the family that has gotten into trouble. I'm talking about in the York household. Fergie sells Andy for £500,000. This is when her troubles really started. She had already had kind of a flightier side. And I like Fergie, so I'm not going to just bash her today, but Fergie has had issues for some time. She makes a bogus claim he'll help business deals, take 40,000 K cash deposit, and demand share of profits. Now, what's interesting about this is once you take the 500,000 K, how in the world would you process that money? You understand what I'm saying? How do you take that kind of cash and turn it into something you can spend without drawing attention? See, so there was a missed opportunity when this information came out because while they're talking about Charles with his cash for honors, they really need to figure out how these two people have taken in money over the years because there's the money that we know of from these interesting headlines, and then there's whatever cash that they have received that has never seen the light of day. You know, that's what I'm saying. This is what we know about, but then what about the cash that we never have heard of? How much was it or is it? And what happened to it? How did they turn that into money that they could spend on themselves, on their children, grandchildren? How do they take that cash and turn it into something? So, if you guys have a idea how that happens, please let me know. I'm not going to use the term that they use when somebody has dirty money and because I don't want to get in trouble, but you guys know what I mean. I'm implying that possibly has happened and we just don't know about it allegedly. So I'm just saying we only know of certain things, but I just don't know how someone as high profile as Sarah Tosuck Ferguson could take if they had actually given her 500,000 K, how was she going to spend it? How is she going to deposit it in the bank without drawing attention? So that's something I've been trying to sort out for a while. So um Fergie was doing commercials for Crystal Light. I had to read that clearly, Crystal Light, not the other Crystal, on US television back in the 90s. See how my mind works, sister? See how my mind works? When I saw Crystal, I was like, uh-huh, uh-huh. I know. That doesn't surprise me. And then I realized it was Crystal Light. Oh, okay, okay, I get it. You know what else I get? Since I put the AC on, I feel so much better. Okay, Philip left his coins to his old side chick and Princess Anna. Let me see. He didn't give a darn about the rest. He didn't think nasty Andy. I hear you. Even though it may be true, it's still being a distraction from the adorable Queen's boy and another tale of Willie Aldi campaign against okay. All right. Yes, it goes back thousands of years. Okay. Well, anyway, like I was saying, I was just trying to figure out if they received money like that, exactly how do they, you know, because I don't know if you all have heard this before, but there is a rule with the IRS that if you have $999, it won't be reported to the federal government. So if you spend $999, it's not a thing. But if you spend $10,000, whatever that purchase is, if you spend $10,000, if you deposit or withdraw $10,000 from a bank, then that is reported to the IRS because they want to know who has $10,000 or more circulating in the economy, and they report it to the IRS so that you have to, possibly pay tax on it. So if you are going to move money in the US, I suggest you make sure it's $999.99. Got that? I just told you how to game the system. Okay. That has never been a issue for me, but that's what you've heard that too. Yeah. That is actually a thing. So if that's the case, how does someone of their status move large sums of money allegedly without drawing attention? Yes, thank you for that, Pamela Porter. I thought that was correct. I'm glad you guys have confirmed that for me. I thought that was correct. Don't go over $10,000, and the IRS will not get involved. Now they say that there is a law that they want to, to change that. because there's so much money that is being moved without anybody knowing it. So, okay. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever have to worry about that $10,000 rule. It doesn't apply to me. Look what Princess Anne has with her helmet hair. Her Aunt Margaret had an island that she and her friends got together to party at. My aunt from marriage said the things that went on there. Really? Really? Okay, okay. I'm here for it. All type of debauchery, I'm sure. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay, my sinuses are improved, but not perfect. But yeah, turning the AC seemed to help a lot. Okay, so let me go to the next slide. Oh, it's been almost an hour. Okay, so right here you can see Prince Charles has recovered from his pandemic. I can't say the word, but he's recovered from that and he's out and about again. He was actually pictured with Princess Anne. That's right, Afro Annie. Now, Afro Annie has a natural barrier that protects her, that is, from the pandemic. Unlike most people, where the pandemic is free to travel throughout the air and attach itself and replicate, she doesn't suffer from that problem because, she has her hair, and her hair absorbs any, um, I guess, plumes or sprays or whatever. So she has yet to have been confirmed to have suffered. But as for everyone else who doesn't have that hair or a pack of Newports in their pocket, they're not immune. But she seems to have a natural barrier that protects her from things that have afflicted the rest of the family. Woo! You guys thought I was serious, didn't you? Yeah, I'm just having a little fun. Okay, so then at the bottom there, you can see anger at calls to slap school Queen book. They don't want that book about the Queen, that 12 million pounds. That is outrageous, though. You'll spend 12 million pounds to promote the platinum jubilee when you can just put it online. By the time it happens, only about half the people are going to know that there's a celebration in the first place. So it is a waste of money because I don't think most people are even that into this thing. Unfortunate for the Queen, this all of these scandals that's rocking the House of Windsor is going to turn that platinum jubilee into a big dud. Okay, so this is something else that was trending on the Twitter sphere. On Twitter today, or yesterday actually, this started. I'm not even sure why this started, but as you can see, it's that off the shoulder number, right? And as you know, there were people who were trying to imply that the woman of color looked vulgar at the time when she wore that, you know, one shoulder thing. And at some point, the squad, this is why the squad is so important. Some people in the squad were like, foul, wait a minute, don't go there. What about that time? Huh? And this shows the double standard that people would praise the English rose for bearing her shoulder, right? People would praise her. But when it was the woman of color, it was a breach of protocol. And of course, among other things, you might have someone say, oh, well, she didn't know better because after all, and she's just a Hollywood actress and she usually does what she wants. And a Hollywood actress, it really is whatever Megan wants because she's a Hollywood actress, and that's how they do things in Hollywood. So I would imagine that Megan would do whatever she wants in Hollywood because that's the way they do it in Hollywood, right? That's the that was the response. There was a serious backlash because she was just being a Hollywood actress. Instead, we find out that this has been something that has been happening with that family for quite some time. Like, for instance, take a look at this. Of course, we all know Princess Diana. And then, of course, old Skin and Bones Middleton, that little dancing skeletal remains, she actually decided to bare her bones. I mean, literally bare her bones. I mean, look at the little knobby. Hello, Helen. I'm sorry, Helene. Helene Grown. Welcome to the Royal Sussex. But yeah, so Kate had the nerves to do her impersonation of the Hansel and Gretel storybook and show her bones. And even the Queen, could you imagine that? Even Her Majesty the Queen was on occasion seen showing a little skin, right? So, how was it possible? How was it possible that when it was the Duchess of Sussex, who looks absolutely gorgeous, how is it possible that it was vulgar for her, but when it's the rest of the family, it was just the thing to do. Oh my goodness, don't they look elegant? Oh, wow, that how could they trend like that? Oh, the designers around the world will be in the studios tonight trying to replicate. Now, when I say that, I am being sarcastic because trust me when I say this, nobody was in a studio somewhere trying to replicate that get up the queen has on. Maybe the other looks, yes, but yeah. Well, you know what? The one that the queen is wearing was trendy back in the 50s. I mean, to be fair, the queen looks amazing right there. She looks absolutely amazing. But that was the 1950s. You couldn't really carry off that look today. But I mean, look at the queen. She's just like, hey, she's stopping to make sure that everybody gets a good look, that shoulder is out there. So anyway, let me look at some of your comments. Uh, yeah, the one drop rule. Yep. Thank you. Let's see. The Royals make up laws against the Duchess Meghan as needed to hurt our Duchess. That is so true. Sad but true, Mary H. Yeah. Okay. Well, I always think, Gwendolyn Daniels, it always reminds me of Hansel and Gretel. Remember when the witch had kidnapped or whatever the Hansel and Gretel, and she wanted to feed them so that she can make her stew or broth or whatever. And wisely, they stuck a chicken bone through the cage so that when the queen with poor eyesight, the wicked witch or whatever, with poor eyesight, would grab that bone and think that they weren't plump enough to eat, right? I believe that's how that storybook goes. And so every time they touched that bone, I can't believe talking about this, but every time the queen, not the queen, the witch, touched that bone, she thought, "Oh my goodness, they're not plump enough to eat." And so maybe that's what it is. Maybe the Duchess of Cambridge is trying to show as much bone as possible so that they won't replace her with another candidate to be queen consort. I don't know. I'm just talking. You crack me up every time I listen to you with these impersonations of Angela Levin. Yeah, it's only because she has made such a horrific impression on me that I hear that voice even when she's not there. It's just, oh, it's blood curdling to hear her voice. So, yeah, that's how I picked that up. Someone in the squad made this, I think, yesterday. I can't really make out. It says pick collage something at the bottom, but there's Meghan is not your scapegoat. Hashtag Sussex Squad. Meghan is not your scapegoat. That bears repeating. Meghan is not your scapegoat. I love this. This is like perfect. Um, yeah, it's absolutely perfect. I could not have done better myself. So this is absolutely perfect. Was going all the way to the hospital. Yes, she was. Meghan had the most beautiful pregnancy that I've ever seen in that family. Absolutely beautiful. The way that she worked, Meghan worked through that pregnancy, the Oceania tour and such. And yeah, it was incredible just to see how well put together she was, in spite of the fact that she was carrying a child. I don't even know I can do it today because of my allergies. So yeah, maybe next time. William didn't want to marry Kate, but the Queen put her nose in it again. They had broken up several times. William was hitting her best friend. Oh, hitting on her best friend, right? Yeah. Yeah, William made her wait 10 years. So, anyway, I can't, okay, let me do this. I want to make sure I put this in the proper context. Let me remove that. Okay. So, oh no, you know what? That's not right. Let me go back. Let me go back. Okay. So it was reported today, and let me find it. Let me find it. I'm gonna go with the let me drink some water first. Okay, let's do this. Oh, by the way, I just noticed that Yvonne Clark, um, since you do use your name, usually I don't like to say the names, but it is here. So Yvonne Clark just did something on the Patreon. Thank you so much for that. And also, yesterday while I was doing the live chat, I would like to acknowledge this. I won't use the full name in case you don't use it on the live chat, but use the initials. JF sent something to the Patreon for me. I'm not Patreon, the PayPal. So thank you. I also received something from SS. Yeah, I don't recognize these names from the live chat, so I don't want to use them. And then also GI. So that was very nice. I received some things on the PayPal yesterday while I was doing the live, and I didn't notice it until after I was done working. So thank you so much for that. So thank you for the Patreon today, and also thank you for those contributions on the PayPal. Greatly appreciated, and thank you for supporting Royal Sussex. Okay, so um, here we go. Prince Harry does not feel safe in UK. Lawyers tell High Court. This was in the Guardian. Okay. Matter of fact, you know what I can do? I can bring that up for you guys, so you can see what I'm seeing. I'm going to share screen. I hope I get this right. Nope. Window. Chrome tab, window, this one. Okay, share. Oh, look at that technology. Look at that. Look at how that technology works, right? Okay, so Prince Harry does not feel safe in the UK, lawyers tell the High Court. Legal hearing challenges Home Office decision to prevent Duke from paying for police protection when visiting, right? Okay. So, and then down here, if you scroll down, it says Prince Harry does not feel safe when he's visiting the UK, a palace that is always and will be his home. I'm sorry, not a palace, a place. Um, his legal team have told the High Court his desire to return to see family and friends was emphasized on the first day of a legal hearing related to his claim over Home Office decision not to allow him to pay for police protection for himself and his family while in the UK. The Duke of Sussex wants to bring his children to visit from the US, but he and his family are unable to return to his home because it is too dangerous, a legal representative has previously said. Okay? So there you have it. If you want to finish that, it is in the Guardian. I love this technology. Remember how much I was just like falling all over myself when I first started doing the live chats, and look at me going to other screens and all that kind of stuff. Um Okay, I'm so glad you said that because that takes us back here. Okay, that takes us back here. As you can see from these slides, thank you, Teresa Williams. As you can see from these slides, there is that a powdered letter was sent to Meghan, and it was an implied threat based on her culture. I can't say those words because of, monetization. And then, of course, up there at the top, you can see they wanted to go after Harry because they considered him a racehorse trader. I have to say racehorse. Sorry about that. Racehorses, racehorse trader, racehorses. Um, I hate having to do that, but I've told you it causes problems if you don't. So, yeah, this is the reason why Harry doesn't feel safe. And these are just the ones that we know about. Anytime I see someone in the public eye and they say that that person has received threats, let me tell you, the Obamas, because they were not like the other families that have lived in that house, the Obamas received more threats than any other people that lived in that house. More, way more. And Michelle Obama said that the reason why she can never forgive the Orange Menace is because the words and the language that he used about her husband's nationality, implying that he wasn't born in the United States and that he was this and was that, made them incredibly unsafe. And there were occasions when the Obamas would travel throughout the United States, and people just like the ones that you see here on the screen, see those two guys? Well, the American version of those guys were actually lawfully standing outside of the security perimeter, armed to their earlobes. And it was perfectly legal for them to do that because of their states' rights or whatever you want to call it. And so when threats like this is made, it is serious business. And we only know of some threats made against the Sussexes. We only know that someone compared their firstborn child to a chimpanzee. That type of disrespect and degrading of someone based on their heritage is enough to cause some very fragile minded and or evil people to come after them. And once it happens, then all of a sudden, some of the people who have perpetrated these stereotypes, they say, well, we have freedom of speech and that person was disturbed or something like that. It doesn't matter what you say in response. The whole point is maybe if you kept your mouth shut, or maybe if you weren't attacking that person and degrading them based on their heritage, maybe that person might still be alive. But, if that is something that happens, then the press is insulated because they had a right to stir up the trouble in the first place. So, as they say, we don't have the right to yell fire in a crowded theater. Well, I also think that we shouldn't have the right to stir up um, apathy against people because they're public figures. We should not have the right to stir up enough hostility until they are somehow no longer here. So that's how I feel about it. What do you guys think? Forever they won't let their children be seen because of that. Yeah, and hasn't Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank, they have taken the cue from the Sussexes. And as as much as as much as I don't really care for these two people, I'm going to tell you one thing I really respected about them. Past tense. I respected the fact that they said they were not going to allow their children to be paraded about in front of cameras, to be made public spectacles. They insist that they did not want that life for their children. Our children shall be shielded and protected, and they're not going to suffer the life that I suffered, said William in some words. Remember that? It's almost as though it was never said. But there was a time when it was implied that William was going to make sure that his children were shielded and protected from the glare of the media. I might be a little bit slow, but I do remember hearing that about the Cambridge children, is that they were not going, they were going to be very modern with their children, that they won't even tell the eldest that he's the future king because they don't want him to grow up to be an egghead like his daddy. Remember that? All these high minded ideas that they had about the way they were going to bring up their children in a way that was very different from what they experienced, because we just don't want our children to suffer the same slings and arrows into their adulthood that ruined our, well, in William's case, ruined his life. As for the other one, she was just spoiled because she was. But yeah, so I respected that about them because they insist that that was not going to happen to the Cambridge children. No, no, we are going to do things differently. And that's just the way it is. And no matter what's going on with this family, they are not going to force us to, put our children out there and serve them up to the public in the same way that they have done me growing up. So I respected that, and that only lasted for so long, but that was the official statement from them in so many words, is that none of that for our children. Our children are sacred, and when they're old enough to do their royal duty, then we will, throw them out there to the wolves, so to speak. So, yeah, that much they had going for them. And I thought, okay, I like that. That's really cool. But it didn't last. It did not last. And the reason why it didn't last is because they had been lazy and complacent for so long, doing as little work as possible and hiding behind the fact that they had children to raise, that when the time came, or should I say, once the Duchess of Sussex with her work ethic came along, and Prince Harry, who had already been the hardest working member of the family for a long time, once that happened, Then all of a sudden, this happened. This is what happened. This happened as a response. Now look at that. Does that look like somebody who's protecting and shielding their children from the glare of the media? They decided the only way that we could save face is to throw our children into the lion's den and make them fend for themselves. This wasn't supposed to happen. This was not supposed to happen. So that respect that I had for them has completely vanished because they as far as I'm concerned, this is the worst thing that they could possibly do. This looks like some kind of Ralph Lauren ad involving their children. Yeah, yeah, uh-huh. The youngest son never be spoke of as the yeah. You know, Mary H. I'm glad you said that because I was sure that I heard that they were or that I read or seen somewhere that this image that you see was not supposed to happen. Now they're doing like these public service commercials and stuff. Yep. Yep. Yeah. So when they criticized the Sussexes for not giving full exposure of their children, that wasn't supposed to happen with these kids. I really feel awful for them. I really do. No shade when I say that. I feel awful for them because they are being served up on a platter to the press just to make those inept, work shy people behind them look good. Because aside from this, they don't really have anything. That Earth Flop, is that the name of it? That thing that they did where they this wasn't it called Earth Flop? I think it was Earth Flop. Anyway, the Earth Flop, that has much to do about nothing. The same as that thing about the child's mind, a big nothing burger. So the only thing that they have left, if the Earth Flop and this is not going to cut it, then let's just throw those kids out there. Everybody likes kids. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Everybody likes kids. My timing could not be worse, by the way. Um, somebody stop me. Okay. But everybody loves children. Everybody. Uh, 1 second. Okay. Let me see here. Well, it is Earth Flop, isn't it? It was called the Earth Flop. If it's not Earth Flop, what is it? It is Earshot. Earshot. No. Earshot? Earthshot. Really? Earthshot? I thought it was ear flop. But okay. Earth flop it is. I mean earshot. Earth shot. Sorry. Earth shot. Okay. Um I'm trying to remember what it is. It's either earshot, earth flop, ear pop, something like that. It's something like that. I don't think it's earth shot. Why would that's a weird name? Why would they call it earth shot? I think it's earth flop. And the reason why I said earth flop is because nobody showed up. They were there to talk about the ears or the throat or the earth or something like that. And nobody showed up. If you recall, and I hate to share this again, but he showed up in some newfangled electric vehicle, right? And then there was all this security. They put up those bike fence gates around the place because they thought it was going to be a real security nightmare, holding back the thousands of well wishers and fans of the Cambridges who were going to pour out of their homes and camp overnight for a chance to see um, Prince William and Kate, Duchess of Doolittle. that people were going to fill the streets, and it was going to be difficult for them to get to the door because of the outpour of emotion of people who wanted to see them, right? Instead, there's a family of four back there in the background. You see that? There's a family of four that were on their way to the Tesco's Finest to get some takeaway, some, the heat and eat meals, and they just happened upon this event. The thousands of people that were supposed to fill the streets around the place that never materialized. And that's why I keep saying earth flop, because nobody showed up. So maybe it is earshot or whatever you said it was. But to me, I call it earth flop because nobody showed up. I mean, it was a absolute flop. Nobody knows what it's about. Um, they told people to show up and wear their old clothes. And when they said that, of course, if you ask, people will respond. Like, for instance, Kate, anything that she has that's new looks old anyway. So when they say show up in your old clothes, I'm pretty sure she doesn't know what to pull out the closet because everything already looks so old. So that was easy. And then as it was, when she showed up, she wore her Little House on the Prairie couture to the event. So that's why I call it earth flop, because nobody, and I do mean nobody, was interested in being there. There was more security and photographers and aides running about the place than there were actually well wishers. So hence the name Earth Flop. That's why I call it that. See? And then, see, there's Kate back there hiding behind William with that Little House on the Prairie couture gown on. So, Earth Flop. Okay. So now that we have cleared that up, and now you know what the official name of it is, shall we continue? What in the world was I talking about? This, right? Oh, let me get rid of these two. Okay. Yeah, there we have it. So to continue, here's another couple images branded a trader. Prince Harry should be, there you have it. I mean, this is very painful to look at. And the other thing is this right here. Meghan and Harry's new farmily home. God, this is a weird word. 2.5 million pound cottage is a converted barn, right? Now, this is, I believe, is in the Cotswolds. So Harry and the Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, wanted to have their privacy away from the glare and the pressure of life in Kensington Palace. So they rented a cottage where they can have a safe space, right? Unfortunately, I think was it Emily Andrews was the one that broke the story. Somebody decided to breach their privacy and tell everybody where they were living. And so, even though they try to make it seem like the Sussexes were hungry for attention, they actually were anxious for a little peace and quiet away from the glare of the tabloid media. But that was not meant to be, because even though they were over there minding their business, all of a sudden, here comes the tabloids exposing their location and also making them very vulnerable and unsafe. And this is why Harry is preoccupied with safety in the United Kingdom, because there really isn't much safety for them because of little stunts like this that has been pulled in the past, has made life incredibly unsafe for them. So it's not something that's just in his mind. This is actually the way life is over there for the Sussexes. They were not safe. And Harry, the soldier that he is, as well as loving, nurturing husband and father, thought it necessary to remove his family from harm's way by taking them to Canada, hopefully staying within the family of nations, the Commonwealth, and such, only to realize that they were not safe there because I don't know how it happened or who brought it up, but somehow their location was leaked to the press. Okay? Just for the consideration of those that do not fully understand this, the calls were coming from inside the house. Okay? So they were found out about. And again, they were unsafe. And so they had to move. So this idea that they were unsafe is not just something that lives inside of Harry's head. This is just the way it is. And um, again, I can only say this again to remind you all there's only so much that we know about in terms of threats to the Sussexes, but there's usually so much more that we will never know about because it actually would compromise the ability of law enforcement to gather intelligence. And in some cases, it is the people that they're supposed to protect that say, okay, we received this letter, we received this threat, we keep getting phone calls from this number. It's not like the Royal Protection would be the ones to see it first. Sometimes the threats make it through to them directly, you know, whether it's a phone call, a letter, or some mysterious package that is dropped on the doorstep. And obviously, there has been enough going on that Harry does not feel safe. So I take him at his word. If he says he's not safe, he's not safe. If he doesn't feel safe, that's not just his imagination. That is probably the way it is. So there you have it. I would like to know what you guys think about that. Let's see. Enjoy the new grandbaby. Oh, somebody's got a new grandbaby. Congratulations. So happy Harry has Second Amendment right in America. Someone tiptoe in Montecito. Yeah, there was someone. I think it was twice that somebody drove across the country to wander onto the grounds of Montecito. Set up an interval is proven to be true. Yeah. 1 second, you guys. Okay. I love this little ball of fur, but she is giving me the blues today. So weird. She's been here a few days, and this is only the first time that this has actually happened. So as soon as I get off this podcast or live chat or whatever, I have to go and vacuum. And anyway, I'm not going to bore you guys with the details. Hello, Joan Garcia. All of the Sussex squads are so thankful that the Sussexes are safe and away from those lunatics. I will say amen to that one. Lorock says, yes, the heathen Emily Andrews. When I saw heathen, I don't know why that didn't come to mind first. But yes, the heathen Emily Andrews, who revealed their home, they compromised their security, forcing them out. Sue these intruder splash magazines who settled out of court and apologized the usual generic crap. Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was Emily Andrews that exposed that. I thought she just tweeted about it, perhaps, but I guess it was. And so that's the reason why I have Doria's photo there, is because inside Doria Ragland's, what is that, 6.78 thousand pound tropical house in LA, 2 hours from Prince Harry and Meghan. Well, okay, it is important that we know that she's 2 hours away from them, because if we didn't know that, then how could they ever feel unsafe if people didn't know that she had a property away from them and that it was actually 2 hours away? Yeah, thank you for that, tabloid media. But yeah, so and by the way, um, Doria looks amazing right there. She's so beautiful. I love that photo of her. I think I'm gonna have to swap out the other photo for this one because I like that. I just hesitate to use different photos because, um, yeah, I'm always concerned that it may have been something from the tabloids, but this was actually the wedding day, so maybe I'll switch to this one. Okay, let me see. I don't think Megan's safe. That's why we haven't seen her. Also, I wouldn't trust the Met Police. I say stay away. Margarita Taylor, there's a lot of people who echo that sentiment, and I think it's a real and valid threat. So, um, yes. Okay, so I'm gonna switch gears a little bit here. I just want to say to you all that the last thing I said about those edited videos I made was please don't food truck me. Well, you guys showed up and showed out. I have not been food trucked. Those other videos have actually had quite a few views, and I want to say thank you for that. Of course, those other videos being the one with a Helen Mirren that's had 11,000 views. And the one where the body language experts and their lives were exposed, that has had 8,000 views. So thank you for that. And Connie Baumer, I saw in the comments, you said, I've actually watched it 3 times. I saw that in the comments yesterday. So thank you for that. So when I say don't food truck me, that is code for, okay, I have a video that has only had 4,000 views. What's up? So yeah, don't food truck me is my way of saying, y'all please watch that particular video that has been ignored. But yeah, you all showed up and showed out. So 8K, 11K individually for those videos, I will definitely accept, and I'm very grateful that for that. So thank you. So you won't have to hear me complain about the food truck ever again, so long as y'all watch some of those edited videos that I made, because otherwise my feelings get just a little hurt, just a little bit, not much, but just a little. I know. I'm just going on and on and on and on and on about that doggone food truck, as if that's the only thing happening in the world is my food truck video. But it was very important. I thought the video was absolutely beautiful. I thought it was very well edited, and everybody loved it so much that I went to bed and woke up, and only about 2,000 people watched it. I went to bed and woke up again. 3,000 people watched it. I said, what the what? Shut the front door. What is going on with this food truck video? So, much to my surprise, people started watching it. So, if I take a look right now and I say to myself, self, I wonder how many people have actually watched that food truck video to date. Well, I'm happy to report to you all that oh, you know what? Now I can't find it. How come I can't find the food truck? Oh, there it is. 6,500 views. 6,500 views. I'm so happy I'm actually saying it like Oprah Winfrey. So, yes, we can all relax, Church Nelly, because I have had more than a handful of views for said food truck. So, happy Friday to you all. And I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, please watch that food truck video, and to all a good night. So, yes. Reba, the whole point of it is people were saying, oh, I like the live chats, but I also really like your edited videos. I missed those. So when I made one, only 10 people watched it. That's all. That's the reason why I was somewhat taken back. And I'm just like, but, but nobody watched it. So that's why I was a bit circumspect, which is amazing because I don't even know what circumspect is, but I'm pretty sure that's what I was. Um, what does circumspect mean? Does circumspect mean I can't expect to have children anymore? What does that mean? Circumspect. Um, Woo, I'm getting a little punchy. It's almost as though I've had some antihistamines, but I swear I haven't had anything. I'm just like a little cloudy because of my allergies. But yeah, so y'all look up that word for me because I want to know if it's grammatically correct. Um, so anyway, let's have some questions and answers because I have gone through my slides for today. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to add to that. Okay. Yeah, I think. Well, I can do this. I could do this. I forgot the name of the artist that made this image. I don't know if I shared that with you guys yesterday, but I thought it was hilarious. This was on Twitter. I want to say it was the Taxi Artist or Artist Taxi or something. Maybe it was them. I don't know who it is on Twitter that made that, but I thought it was kind of funny. Um, take my show on the road. That would be fun. I could see myself having some like kind of I don't know weird lounge act or something like that. Hey, it wouldn't be the first time, Church Nelly. It would not be the first time. Let me see. Circumspect, wary, and unwilling to take risk. So was that grammatically correct? I'm not sure. I don't forget how I used it. I don't forgot already. Ain't that something? I think I'm having what they call a senior moment. Harry could come to the UK unnoticed, but those on Shore Island can't keep their tongues locked and mouths shut. Yeah, if he did try to come unnoticed, I mean, when he came to the Frogmore, when he was there for the unveiling and then he took off and went to the well child, there was some incident when they left the well child where the tabloid press tried to pursue the vehicle that he was in, and I believe that that caused like some type of flashback of other events. And I got to take this off the screen. God, that looks weird. um yeah, so I think that that caused some kind of flashback, for everybody involved. And so after that incident, that's when Harry insists that he wants to bring his family because that was like a little dry run for the idea of bringing the entire family. But he wants to make sure that they're protected. And I don't think that that's too much to ask, considering his position in that family, not as a working royal today, but for everything that he's done in the past, as well as the fact that he was targeted while serving in Afghanistan. And he's also a very popular member of the family, still a very popular member of the family. And so, of course, there would be the risk that he may become targeted for that reason. So, give him the flippin' protection that he's asking for. Treat him as you would treat any state visit. And yes, I'm going to say as though he was making a state visit, treat him the exact same way. But the reason why they're so concerned about it is because they don't want to distract from this. If anybody receives pomp and circumstance, if anybody's family shall be made fuss of, they want to make sure that it's this family and not the Sussexes, because it will only reinforce the idea that those two people in the back are not so important to the future of the world. They're not global influencers in the same vein as the Sussexes. The Sussexes are actually royals, yes, and they also are the two most influential royals in the world. If you say royal couple, the first thing that comes to mind is the Sussexes. If you think the royal family, yeah, of course, people are going to think Queen Elizabeth, and then it goes straight to the Sussexes. Most people in the world gravitate toward the Sussexes, and that's why, having only been seen a handful of times since November, collectively, Harry maybe once or twice, the Duchess out shopping one day, even though they've been seen just a handful of times, whenever they show up, they shut down the internet. They create a vacuum that the rest of the family cannot measure up to. It's a fact. Nobody cares, even with the problems that this idiot is having right now. It's just not the same. I just have to say it. That's my own biased opinion. It's just not the same. What say you, Joan Commonwealther? Coming unnoticed would mean he would not be able to go out in public. What purpose would that serve? Yeah, that's the whole point. Is that in order for him to connect with the family, he would have to come and go. Um, it would be undignified for Prince Harry to be bundled up in some type of blanket and thrown in the back of a car somewhere to go and visit his grandmother, or to come and go from the Frogmore Cottage or whatever. That would be very undignified. Harry deserves better than that. Harry deserves to be treated like a visiting statesman. I'm just going to say it. I know that's going to sit wrong with some people who already think the royal family gets too much attention, but he has transcended his position as second fiddle to William. He has. He's just bigger than that. That's all to it. The trip to New York was, something that happened. What? How many times did they go to New York? Three times, November and yeah, October and November. I think there were like three visits by the Sussexes to the city of New York, and each time they were given adequate protection, protection that he paid for. And of course, when they went to the World Trade Center and such, there was some, public and police protection there. Very well received. Nobody in New York complained about the fact that the Sussexes required protection. And it's the same as when Diana came to Chicago back in the 1990s. Princess Diana was no longer married to Prince Charles, but she was treated with as much reverence and a greater outpouring of support than even the Queen would have received. And that's just a fact. So give him the protection that he requires. Let me see. They just have to treat Harry and his family with dignity and respect. They are well deserving. Absolutely. Yeah. You know, Either way, when the Sussexes show up, there's going to be a lot of attention thrown their way, and that requires protection. If I were Harry, I would not trust these people anyway. I would have to have my own people. Yeah, Mercedes, Todd, he doesn't mind having his own people, but his own people cannot move within the system over there as law enforcement can move. And so he's asking for the opportunity to pay for the police protection who has the connections, the intelligence, and of course the right of way. I mean, they would have the right to exercise certain precautions that a private security firm could not. So, with a private security firm, it would have to be something more obvious for them to intervene. Whereas with a paid police officer or royal protection, they would be able to, I guess, steer traffic away from a situation. They would be able to arrest someone who's acting obviously suspicious, or at least contain them some kind of way. And I don't think that a private police force would be able to do that. they would have to operate, with kids' gloves against someone who may possibly be a threat. So that's the whole point of it. And it's not out of the realm of possibility that he should be able to pay for that. Prince Charles paid for uniform and, plainclothes police officers to protect his emotional support, Camilla. He was able to pay for that when before she was even married. She wasn't even officially a member of the family, and she received that protection from Prince Charles. They allowed him to do what they're saying Harry is ineligible to do for his family. So what's the difference? But then again, Prince Charles has always had a problem protecting the women in his life. He always has had a problem protecting the women in his life. It was only when Camilla was almost run over by the tabloid media that Prince Charles finally get off of his behind and do something. And of course, Princess Diana famously, I'm not even going to get into those again, but Princess Diana famously was left to fend for herself before they were married and then after she divorced them. So no big surprise there. The Met Police is corrupt. The intelligence side, my opinion would be briefing his dad and father of the whereabouts. He would not trust anyone over there. That is a good point. That is a good point because they revealed his location several times. The Cotswolds. Where else? When he was at Tyler Perry's mansion, when they were in Canada, somehow the positions were leaked to the press. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say Tyler Perry's security did not sell out the Sussexes. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that most of the people, if not all of the people, the Sussexes have associated themselves with here in the United States, have not sold them out. That's why you don't have any images of them now. The only image that we have of the Duchess of Sussex is going shopping at Christmas time. And before that, when they went to that office building in July of 2020, I think it was. Those were the only images that we have of the Sussexes. But other than that, there's very few images. Very few. There was some paparazzi that took that photo of the Duchess and Archie on the way to school that day, but there's not much by way of leaks in that community. So I think they're in a very safe space. They're safer than they would be in the United Kingdom. I'm sad to say that because that's Harry's birthplace, but that's true. The family hate for his black wife is so toxic. Why won't you protect your son? His family is toxic. Yep. Fedline Wampak says, yeah, and that's what she said. I'm not going to mess with that French today because my French is bad on the best of days, but beautifully said. Thank you for that. Okay. So, you guys, we got about 6 minutes. So, in that 6 minutes, let us give love, honor, and respect to our faves, the Queen of Hearts, Princess Diana, and the Queen of Everything, Doria, the Queen of Everything, for making so much of the Sussex's bright future possible. Of course, it was implied yesterday that the Queen somehow helped the Sussexes years in advance. That's according to Ingrid Seawall or whatever her name is. But we talked about that yesterday. That was just a bunch of rubbish from a very rubbish individual. That was just sick, whatever she was implying. So, yeah, we talked about that yesterday. So, okay, let me get rid of that. Okay. stop that screen. Okay. All right. So back to your comments, and then we are going to say farewell for today. Yes, Medea came through. Harry is what is that? Black adjacent now. Um, Racehorses has a lot of little helpers, so he has to move in a different way. I just don't trust the police over there. I understand that. But thanks to Medea, you're absolutely right. Thanks to Medea, um, the Sussex had a safe haven over here. Exactly. Church, they call her a narcissist and attention seeker, but they don't even know that they are talking to Doolittle and Kate in reality. Talking about, rather, Doolittle, Kate in reality. Yeah, because, you know, I don't. This whole thing right here, the Phantom of Westminster Abbey. What kind of person would humiliate themselves like this? I mean, for the people who want to believe that she's the savior of the royal family, this has gone a long way. This is what gave them the most views on their YouTube channel. But one of the squatties decided to set the record straight because even though she was supposed to be playing from a hymn book or whatever, what she was really playing was I'm better than the Duchess of Sussex. She wanted to imply that she had some latent hidden talent that people should look at her and respect. So it only took 3 notes over and over again for her to make that case. And some people bought it, some people believe it. So I guess where that's concerned, it was very successful. But we all know that this was a ploy to seek attention. It's all attention seeking. That's more realistic right there. That is realistic, this comment. Okay. So long, attention seeker. And where are we here? Hello, Ronnie. She does have a talent. She hadn't bitten anyone yet. Okay. Well, I hope everybody has a happy Friday. I'm going to skedaddle. Let me see. The British media and their followers have that the Sussexes are hated in America. I can't believe that. I always respond in unkind. They are very well liked and loved here. Absolutely, BJ. Absolutely. When Harry, um, when Harry was, what do you call it, at the locker room there at the Super Bowl, that was like the best clue right there. The timing was so perfect for that. I love everything about that because it shows that Harry um, will always have a place in this country. He had a place before he got here, and now that he's here in California, I mean, it's just all the proof you need. Not that we need to prove anything to anybody, but Harry is loved and respected here. Full stop, plain and simple. And no matter what they say or do, nothing is going to change that. So, let's see. This person, oh boy, this person right here. Okay, that's not the one I was looking for. I was trying to find the images of Harry with the Super Bowl trophy, but that certainly is not it. So, anyway, you guys, I guess I'll share that next time, and we can hash it out. I think I'm through. I think I'm done. I'm going to probably take an antihistamine for my allergies, so I will probably be out of it for the rest of the day. One thing about the antihistamines, it makes you a bit dizzy and punchy. And I don't know, I may start seeing things. So if you hear me yelling, Philip, Philip, is that you, Philip? What? Sign this document? Queen consort? Sure. Yeah, so if I start getting out of sorts like that, then you'll know exactly why it happened. I'll be probably sitting here yelling, Philip! So I guess I'm saying if there's a document that you want me to sign that I wouldn't do in my right mind, wait until I'm a little happy and giddy celebrating my 70th year on the throne. Wait until I'm 95 years old. Wait until I look the other way and then have somebody take a portrait of my late husband past the window. So when I look the other way and I yell, Philip, you just slip that document in there, and then next thing you know, you have yourself a new queen consort in the future. So that is my story. I insist that that's how that happened. So happy Friday to you all. Thank you for joining us on Royal Sussex. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And yeah, and please do the thumbs up. If you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. And let's see, I am going to play us out with that Harry and Meghan love story. Love you all. Happy Friday.